Yo, welcome to the Sunday session, everyone. I'm just checking that we're going live here. I'm trying to quickly get everything set up. This one was a bit of a later start than normal because I'm usually pretty organized. And as I came up to start the live stream today, I realized that all of my lighting equipment was in the car from a shoot that I did with Craig Petty on Wednesday. So I had to quickly run out and grab. Otherwise, it's really dark and dingy in here. But anyway, hope everyone's doing well. We're just waiting on a couple of things. We're waiting on Craig to reset his router. So once that's up and running, he's going to join the chat. Ben Williams is also joining us in 10 minutes. So he said he'll be on here at 10 past. And then hopefully we have Perseus in here. However, I text him saying, are we still good for the Sunday session? And I haven't heard back. So I don't know what's going on. But maybe he'll turn up sooner or later. So we'll see. But with all that being said, I hope you had a good weekend. Have you guys been planning anything special for Valentine's Day magic? Or have you guys been preparing for Blackpool, more importantly? So I can see Sean Devine in the comments saying Perseus, and I can see Matty Mediocrity saying, yeah, Perseus, best name. It is the best name in Magic. And maybe best dressed. I think he's the best dressed. Either Craig or Perseus for best dressed. Craig, definitely not. Perseus, possibly. I'm a close third with my board shorts and tank tops. What do Brits call our football? Kickball. No, we call it football because you use your foot on the ball. I don't get why Americans call it football. Maybe throwball? Handball? Tennis with your hands? My wife and Sean Devine, my wife and I are going to see the new Scream movie on Valentine's Day. That is such a perfect way to spend that is like my ideal Valentine's Day, is to watch a horror movie with my wife. What's going on, Gillian? Hello from the USA. Hello back from Wales, dude. So I'm just quickly in here trying to get Craig and everyone, the whole gang, trying to get the gang together. So I need to do this through Skype. You guys can all hear me well, yes? Just let me know if you can all hear me. And then let's see if I can just make this window a little bit bigger for the guys. All right, so we're just waiting on Craig, who is as unprofessional as they get today. No, I'm kidding, he's good. Let's see. So this week's been a bit crazy. I'm wondering, there's nothing from Perseus as of right now. Good afternoon, Rubik's Cube Magician. Who is that Rubik's Cube Magician? There's a lot of Rubik's Cube Magicians. Hello from Doha, Qatar. Man, that's so cool. I've been to the airport, I think, in Doha. Okay, cool. I'm glad you can hear me. How do you pronounce your name? Gullion? Gullion. Like Gideon? Gullion. I don't know. So this has been a crazy week in the world of product releases. I don't know if you guys have been following the whole saga with Craig Petty, the Quantum deck, and the videos that have been posted by other people, the people making crazy claims out there. But I'm guessing, I don't know if any of you guys have watched Craig's video, which is wild. I'm guessing Kev G. What's going on, Kev, man? Sorry, I couldn't realize I was logged into this account. I'm guessing all of you have sort of seen, hey, what's going on from London? Hey, Adstar, what's going on, dude? I'm guessing all of you have probably followed the drama that's going on with Craig, and I'm hoping that he's going to come on and tell us and talk to us a little bit more about it today and share, any updates, any news, what he's heard from, if there's been anything that's come back or anything at all. So I'm hoping when Craig finally logs on, he'll be able to tell us that. In the meantime, let's do some magic to keep us all entertained, shall we? David Peace, Craig's video is wild. It is wild, but entirely accurate as well. I think that's the important part. Been playing with this lately. It's cold, so I have a hoodie on, but let me try this. Here's a little fun thing that I have to... My pink cup. I have to play with just because we're waiting on Craig and the guys. So here's a coin. Take it to my hand. Oh, look at that flash. Look how bad that flash is. So this is something basically that I've been working on for a while. I posted it on my Instagram when I was in New York, I think. And it's just basic handling of a coin vanishing. There's so many different ones out there where the coin goes to the back of the hand. But I realised that... Here's Craig. We'll talk about it later. Let's answer to Craig. There he is.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Late to the party once again, as per fucking normal.
Well, we're live, so that helps.
Oh, really? As per normal. Sorry.
Yes, we're live right now, so say hi, everyone.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
I'm just trying to...
Disorganized today.
I know, I was just giving you grief for saying how unprofessional you are.
I'm
Late.
getting carried away editing interview with Bo Kramer.
Oh, good shout. Well, that's not time wasted. That's fun.
I keep getting distracted because I just keep getting mesmerized by beer.
All right, so we got some comments in the video. So I was saying basically, Craig, that whilst we were waiting, that it's been a crazy week, and maybe you could talk about what's been going on. Have you heard any news since? Basically, I said your video is crazy. David P says Craig's video is wild. Von de Leon says Craig's response is crazy funny too.
Am I allowed to swear on this channel?
You can do whatever the fuck you want, man.
Amazing. It's been a bit of a crazy week. I actually feel kind of mentally drained by this week. I wasn't expecting it to be. I mean, I'm used to like doing a million things at once. I'm used to like, yeah, just like being everywhere and doing everything. But this week has been especially challenging, let's say, because obviously the trailer dropped last Friday for the Quantum Deck.
Yeah.
It was last Friday, wasn't it? I'm losing track of time. I think it was last Friday, wasn't it? I don't know. Yeah, it was.
Yes.
Yeah. And obviously it was rather successful.
To say the least.
But to say the least. But I was not really kind of I had like 4 gigs last weekend, and all of them were illusion shows. And unless you've ever done an illusion show, you have no idea how much of an absolute giant pain in the arse they are. If I could go back in time and give advice to myself, it would be, don't fucking touch illusions. Like, there's such a setup and there's such a pain in the backside. They really are. I was kind of wiped out all weekend, which is why I wasn't able to be on the live with you when you were doing it last Sunday with Rory.
Yeah.
Rory. So it was only Monday when I was able to kind of process everything. At that point, like, Quantum had sold out twice, and everything had sold out, and it had all sold out, and nobody could get hold of them. I can't get hold of them for Blackpool, and it was all crazy. And it was mainly positives, but you'd started to get the kind of the negative stuff on the cafe a little bit, as you would expect with the Magic Cafe.
Yeah.
But there was a couple of negative stuff about the validity of the trailer and whether or not they could be examinable. How people can actually comment on that when they haven't even got the product, I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And by the way, while we're at it, the latest and greatest forum on the Magic Cafe is a fucking nightmare. Like, it says, oh, you can speculate to methods. No, you can't. You completely fuck up. What's the point of being a creator and trying to, you know, in the old days, when you created a trick, the trick was for the people that spent money on it. You know, now you've got places like the latest and greatest forum where they just openly discuss method. And as a creator, you've either got to go on there and just reply to people or be ridiculed. You know, I just don't get it. It's just wound me up. And then, I don't know what I was doing, but I was at a gig. I was at a gig with Nemid Phoenix, I think. Maybe, I don't know. I was at a gig. I think I was, who gives a shit? I was somewhere. And my phone, when I stopped doing what I was doing, had literally blown up with, have you seen Luke Dancy? 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 I'm like, I thought that guy was fucking dead. Like, you know, I mean, I didn't know what happened to him. As far as I'm concerned, he dropped off the face of Murphy's and was nowhere to be seen. I figured he was like, doesn't he do a marketing thing or something? Doesn't he have his own marketing company or something in Las Vegas? I just figured he was back doing that. And people were like, no, you've got to see his live. He talked about the quantum deck. He rips you into a million pieces. He talks about the product. And he's like, I was like, I've got to see this. And luckily, several thousand people had sent me the link. So I went and watched it. And I was just like, the fuck is this guy talking about? It's like...
It's bad. It's really bad.
I'm calling it right now. Dancy has an agenda here, and I have no idea why. Because this wasn't just simply By the way, has Luke Dancy ever been negative about... It feels like this thing that he's doing is all about magic. I've now realised it was the first one. I thought he'd been doing it ever since he'd left Murphy's. But this is the first one. This was the first Taco Tuesday he's done since leaving Murphy's. He's set up this website all about magic, and he's redone his Taco Tuesday, which is fine. It's fine. But what, you know, if he wants to redo that, if he wants to rebrand himself, that's cool. That's not a problem. That's absolutely fine. And maybe he wants to like show the world that he's got this different thing going on now, because obviously when he was working with Murphy's, the Taco Tuesdays were all about hyping new products. It's not like you could turn around to Murphy's and say, excuse me, Mark, would you mind if I rip the piss out of several of our products because I think they're crap? No, he's not going to do that. His job is to, you know, market the stuff online. So maybe he was wanting to, you know, like make an impact. Maybe it was like, okay, I'll look at the biggest product that's out there at the moment and I'll rip into that. Maybe it's, I don't know, maybe he's pissed off with Murphy's and it's a Murphy product. I don't know. I don't really care. But what I do know is I was fucking getting dragged into it, and I wouldn't have minded if he'd actually made valid points that made sense. Now, I don't know who that guy Mike is. You said he's released something through Theory 11 and he used to work for Murphy's.
He used to, he had a couple of downloads, I think, put out on Theory 11, and then I think he briefly worked at Murphy's Magic for a while, but like a long time ago.
I have no idea. Like, I felt a bit sorry for him because he was like, "Oh, you told me this, Luke. You told me this, Luke."
Yeah, I feel bad for Mike Hankins there because
I kind of felt a bit bad. And I have an idea. I don't know who Mike is. He might be the most talented guy in the world. But
he's very talented, very talented.
Yeah, well, on that he didn't come out. I was thinking when I was watching it, I was like, okay, right, I know what's going on here with Luke and Mike. You know, like in high school, you have the really fit girls, and then you have the so-so girls that hang out with the mingers, so that the so-so girls tend to look more attractive. That's Mike and Luke. You know, Luke's decided to have Mike hang out with him so he looks better. That's how it felt like. Now, obviously, that's not the case because I've since discovered he's released magic out himself, and that's fine, and that's awesome, and that's great. And he's done stuff. You can't release a product with Theory 11 without being good, and that's awesome as well. And I think he's just got bought into this. But I don't know what Luke's problem is. I don't know what his problem is. Now, I will say the video that I did probably wasn't it was the right thing to do. Fuck it. It was definitely the right thing to do. But I made a decision to stop the rants on this channel about 4 months ago, just because, but for various different reasons, which I don't need to go into here, but I didn't want the channel to be about rants. I wanted it to be a positive place that people could hang out and, you know, learn magic and so on and so forth. And I you know, that kind of felt towards the end, it got quite ranty. And I think the reason it got quite ranty is because I was so pissed off. You know, like I felt personally attacked. It wasn't a review. I mean, they were like, you know, stuff that I didn't even put in that video. Like somebody put in the comments to that video that he did, "Oh, I bought it," and Luke Dancy went, "Oh dear, oh well," like stuff like that. Like just fuck you.
Yeah, that's pretty sad.
And then like is saying stuff like it can't be examined. He's like, first of all, he says it's a dishonest trailer, which it's not. Have you ever seen a trailer? You've been involved in the magic community a long time, Luke. Luke, sorry, fucking Luke. I've got him on my mind. You've been in the magic community. Hi, Ben.
Right,
How you
Ben.
doing? We're just talking about Luke Dancer being a knob.
Oh, fucking hell.
Um,
I'm just changing up the screens.
What's that?
I'm just changing up the screens a second so we can all get in here.
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Do this. Try and get us all in one thing. All right. Okay. Let me just cut this out. Boom. Okay. Carry on, guys.
I've just joined. Hello.
Okay, Craig, pick up where you left off.
do you know about this whole Luke Dante thing that's been going on?
So I don't know. I saw your little Instagram video in the car, and I was like, I'll check this out, and I started to watch it. But to be honest, I've had the last couple of weeks have been really, really manic and crazy.
Yeah, you're a good boy and don't like politics either, so probably I can understand why you wouldn't do. But no, I mean, you guys have been involved in the magic industry a long time. Have you ever seen, genuinely, a trailer and ad copy as honest as Quantum?
No.
I think, to be fair, like, you know, even in the ad copy, it sort of said, look, I mean, hands down, this is what might happen. And you gave, you know, a pretty fair cop for, you know, like what would happen if they didn't name a number in the range, which is ideal, you know, which is fair enough. I mean, I don't know. It's such a hard thing to do, you know, because you know, you want to be respectful to the secret, but you want to be respectful to the customer as well. But then, like, you know, you also want to have some excitement and some unknown about it, you know, like, you know, if you just go, I don't know, it's a bit like if some gourmet chef came out with this amazing meal and went, oh, by the way, there's garam masala in there, there's a teaspoon of salt, and like there's this and that. And like, you know, you don't need to know all that. I think, I don't know. I think you more than fairly gave enough for buyers to make a very good, and I don't think that there was anything unfair about it at all.
That's what I thought. But, you know, he said it was not examinable. So in the video, I showed me performing it in the real world, a full live performance, and me doing it and handing the deck out. He then said, and I don't know where this whole magic thing, oh, it's not examinable, my magicians. At no point did I say it was a magician fooler. Did I ever come to you, Lloyd, when I showed you it for the first time and said, this can be marketed as a magician fooler? This is, I've gone on my channel multiple times and said, I hate magician foolers. Did a rant back in the day about magician foolers. And I'm like, I even had a rant about that guy that puts like 15,000 downloads on Penguin every 5 minutes saying, hey, why does he constantly market his stuff as magician foolers? I'm not a person that tries to fool magicians. I put something on the tutorial about how it could fool magicians if you do something to the deck, but I don't even get that. But it's not even that much. It's the stuff that you were saying, like you need 2 decks of cards to do this trick, and making statements like, oh, you know, if it won't fool magicians, is it worth $40? Like that's the sort of stuff that's said that goes beyond the review. Now you're just trying to get people to hate it. When you make statements like, it's not worth $40 because it won't fool a magician. There's a million tricks in the world that won't fool a magician that are marketed. There are a lot more. That doesn't mean that it's not valid. Fooling a magician shouldn't come into it at any point.
Just to put it out there, look at the legacy that Juan Miranda's just put out, and he's put out exactly what it is. There's no fooling a magician there, and it's like $1,750.
Yeah, just because they won't fool a magician, is it worth? The other thing is, every magician's fucking seen the quantum deck now. Like, you ain't fooling no fucker. You're gonna be living under a rock.
You know, I think it's just sad that this is what the magic community is like. You know, it's I don't know, like, you know, I personally, I don't personally know Mike Hankins, but I know Luke personally, and I've always got on with him. Like, we always, you know, vibe really nicely off each other. I haven't really got a bad word to say about him, but I haven't watched what he was saying, and you know, it's horrible when you feel like stuck in between two things as well. It's like, because like, why does it need to be like this? At the end of the day,
for me, it was. Like, so I've stayed with Luke in Las Vegas. I stayed in his apartment for 4 or 5 years ago,
I thought you were going to say for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, I lived there forever. I'm still there now. He's actually in the living room, just hanging out. And it's so right because without like trying to say anything negative because I don't want to cause like hate campaigns. He lied. He blatantly lied, and
Yeah.
On this video about quantum deck.
On his video about the quantum deck, he said a few things, but he told a lie blatantly, and I think to do that he'd need a reason, not like a reason about the quantum deck, but what's his ulterior motive? So that's what concerns me about it, is that he told a lie. Obviously, Craig proved it umpteen times, but it's just strange. Like we're all magic's like a brotherhood. I always think, and why the fuck would you try and? You should always if you're gonna punch up. Do you know what I mean? Don't punch each other.
Here's my big concern about the whole thing, though. Right? Okay, I'm a big boy. I've been through enough shit in my life. Here's the thing, and I'll be honest with you, and I haven't said this to anybody else, not even Lloyd. I haven't said it to anyone else. The last 2 days, I've had my finger hovering over the delete channel button on Magic TV, and I'll tell you why I have. I've had it on there because, and Lloyd will tell you, my full-time job is producing content for Magic TV. The rest of my office staff run all my other companies. My job is a performer and creating content for Magic TV for free. And I'm like, and I left the community 10 years ago because I felt overwhelmed with the amount of shit that people gave me about Red. And that one was on me. And I'm like, I'm not going to put myself into a position where I'm basically working for free to put content out for magicians when I'm just getting people like Luke Dancy trying to call my character into question when I've spent 2 years desperately trying to rebuild my reputation after fucking it up so many times. I spent 2 years trying to be trusted, and for Luke Dancy to come out and basically just announce to all of his followers, Craig can't be trusted, it's a dishonest trailer. And then off the back of that, and I'm not exaggerating, I could show you, I had about 150 comments in about a day from people saying, oh, you're scum. Oh, finally, your true colors have been shown. Oh, you're a fucking embarrassment. You're a cancer of the Magic community. I wish you and your son were dead. And I had all of that. And that's probably why I went off at him. I went off at him on that video, even though I said at the beginning of the video it wasn't going to be a rant. I went off at him because I've spent 2 years trying to build something that he tried to destroy in one 5-minute fucking video. I'm getting angry again because every time I think about it, and I literally, the last couple of days, I had my finger hovered over the delete channel button. I'm like, fuck it. I don't need this. I could go into my office and start working on something else, a project that will make me more money. Because it's never about money, and you know that. It'll make me a project that I probably will then find more time to spend with my kids. It's like, fuck it. Why am I going to sit here listening to all of this bullshit comments and all of this crap? Because I'll tell you one thing before you carry on. I'm not going to delete Magic TV, and the reason I'm not is because Sarah sat me down and said, "You're an idiot." And slapped me around the face, literally and figuratively, and then made me sit there for an hour reading. Literally, she put a spreadsheet together of thousands of comments over the last month. Literally, thousands of comments over the last month. And I was reading through all of these going, oh, I've never had the courage to perform in the real world before, but having watched your channel, now I've performed to friends and family, or I've entered a talent competition next week, and that's because of this video, and this means so much to me, or I was depressed all through lockdown, and you're the one that pulled me through it, or, oh, you feel like... And I realized, and it was Sarah that made me realize that I'm like, no, this is ridiculous. There's thousands of people that appreciate what you do. There's a small percentage of people that don't. But the thing that concerns me, and I've got myself through it, and it's thanks to Sarah, I've had a really bad couple of fucking days. But the thing that fucking really concerns me, now that I have got myself out of it and I'm pissed off again, is that Luke Dancy tried that on me. I'm kind of a level-headed guy, and I can keep my shit together. What about the new creator that puts a new product out for the very first time? He's proven he can lie for some fucking reason. He's obviously got an agenda. What happens when he fucking decides to put a different person in his targets? What is that person going to do with himself? Fuck him. Now I'm getting pissed off again.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
Take a breath. take a breath, mate. Because like I think a lot of what you said is completely true. You know, you know, you're putting content out there for free. It's a passion project. Like, you know, I think things can ruffle feathers, and you know, I mean, you know as well as anyone, when you put yourself out there and put yourself out there as much as you do, Craig, you can't please everyone. You're going to attract haters. You're going to attract people that want to tear you down. And, you know, and the fact is, I think what the only thing that you can do is control how you respond to it and how you act and what you say about it. And you can't control any of the other stuff about that. So you know, there was somebody who I listened to, a businessman, who said that he's like, haters, I love haters. He's like, if I got 10, I want 20. Because if you're not getting that many haters, you're not actually getting yourself out there to enough people. You know, because it is just a numbers kind of thing. The more people that you influence and you get out to, the more haters you attract, and that's going to happen. It's sad that it's happened in this kind of manner as well. It's sad that it's, you know, I think there's magic community is actually quite small, and to have you know, situations like this, it's just unnecessary. I've been brought up to always, if I don't have anything good to say, then don't say anything at all, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then you know, it's, you know, I also believe that you've got to stand up for yourself when you do feel like you've been wronged. And I think, you know, you can only do what you can do, but don't fall into the trap of you know, letting it ruffle your feathers so much that anger spills you into saying something or doing something that you regret, because that's not going to be good for yourself. And it would just, you know, like it can also give people that want to tear you down fuel, and it's giving them bullets for their gun, you know. And I'm like I say, I've not seen this video, so I started to watch your rebuttal video. So that was all. I got about 5 minutes in before, because I don't know, just have had no time recently. I've literally just come back from a kids' party right now, which is why I'm late. So I can't really comment on exactly what's been said, but it's shite, and I just don't. There's no need for it. Like Lloyd said, if you're going to punch someone, try and punch someone up. You know, like you don't. There's no need to tear people down, but yet that seems to be a common trait within this community, which is very sad. My wife, she works in like psychology and psychiatry, that sort of area, and she said she's been to seminars where everybody helps each other completely, and nobody. She looks at the magic fraternity and she's like, I don't understand it. I don't get what is going on. Like,
Sarah's the same.
It's like gangs in New York or something. It's like that people all doing the same thing, but for some reason hating on each other like outrageously. And I don't get it. Like, at the end of the day, and I know you've worked hard on it, and I know everyone, you know, some people work extremely hard on their magic products, but they are magic tricks. They are magic tricks. You know, we're not, you know, we're not saving the planet, you know, or anything like that. It's not. You know, they're magic tricks that are invented to essentially give people a great experience, and I really don't get that kind of.
It'll never go away, because magicians are, you know, by product of being a magician is that you're a solo performer and you want everyone to like you. So you know, a lot of these people are fueled by ego. So when it seems that they have so much time on their hands that all the people want to be the best. They want to have the most gigs. They want to be the most followers. They want to have the Facebook groups with the little fans in it, and that then, you know, for whatever reason, I think drives the ego to criticize. And when you criticize, that's when it turns nasty. But two things. So a comment here from Matty Mediocrity says, and I want to I'm not sure what his question is, but it might be in regards to that. He says the trailer had like 10 magicians being fooled. They even said to take it on Penn and Teller to fool them. I love you guys, but please stay honest. Right, so I wanted to hide that.
Fuck him.
No, actually,
talking about stay honest. What the fuck else can I do? I fucking sit here 20. Oh, fuck this shit.
No,
Fuck you. Fuck you. I am literally up to fucking here with being called a fucking liar.
Whoa.
I think maybe that's the best thing for the moment. Sadly, it's really shite that it gets to this. You know, it really is.
Yeah.
Like, because I can completely empathise with the situation there. You know, that's you know, it's very tough.
How you doing, man?
Been better.
It's like, at what point does it go from pure... I think the guy's comment...
I'm sick of it, Lloyd. I'm sorry I just reacted like that. I've had it all fucking week.
Yeah.
What more can I do on a daily basis to stop people calling me a fucking liar?
Yeah. It's crazy.
And you go, oh, you're not calling me a liar. Stay honest. The trailer said in it was a gimmick deck. The ad copy said it was a gimmick deck. Every single person that I performed that to, those magicians, those big name magicians, as soon as I performed it to them, I told them exactly how the trick worked. And they all went, fuck me, that would fool me. That would fool me. I handed it to fucking Daniel Chard. The first time I performed it, I did it to Daniel Chard in Smoke and Mirrors. That was the very first magician I performed it to. Daniel fucking Chard was handed the deck, the magician deck I talk about on the tutorial, and he couldn't see how it worked.
Yeah.
And he was there and he watched it 3 times. And as for Penn and Teller, you might want to watch next season because it's how you structure a fucking trick. If I wanted to fool Penn and Teller with it, I would take the magician deck. And do you know what I'd do? I'd have somebody like Alison Hannigan come up on stage and I'd do it on her and I'd hand her the deck. And then what would happen is she'd look through it. She wouldn't find anything. And then they would probably go, oh, can we inspect the deck? And I'd be like, yeah, there's ways of actually doing it on Penn and Teller. Yeah. I am not lying. And if you think I'm lying, mediocrity, and I've always had respect for you, I think I know who you are. You comment on my channel. If you think I'm lying, unsubscribe to my fucking channel, because I am absolutely sick to death of this. I really am. I've had a week of it.
I think what the problem is that, and this is what's happened from Luke's video, is that people haven't got it, or some people have got it. Most people haven't got it yet because it's not released until tomorrow. And by telling people that it's 100% not a magician fooler, when, like, because in Luke's video it's proven that he didn't watch the tutorial, because he told Mike Hankins that you need to have 2 decks to perform this, which isn't true. So it means he hasn't watched the full tutorial or even any of it. But by doing that, then you spur people on to not realize that. For example, when like Craig performed it on people like Adam, and he said you could examine the deck if you were here, that's honest, because some magicians might, because first of all, there's a different deck setup for the magician fooling one, and some would find it, some wouldn't. So you wouldn't say no, because it's quite likely, it's say 50-50 that the magician is or isn't going to find the secret hidden in the deck. So when somebody watches it being performed and they say, could I examine, when a magician was watching it over Zoom saying, if I was there, could I examine the deck? I would have to, if it was me performing, I'd say yeah. Because even if they did find something, it wouldn't explain the full method, but it's set up in a way that some are, some aren't. So you're not going to go for the lowest common denominator and say, nope. You're going to say, yeah.
Are you proud, Craig? Are you proud of what you made and what you put out and how you did it?
Yeah.
Well, then that's the main thing. You know, that's the main thing. You know, I think in all honesty, you know, this is become a very kind of sensitive subject, I think, because, and forgive me for saying it, but because of everything that you went through with Red. And it feels maybe like this is a reoccurrence of that situation when you've done your damnedest to try to avoid doing that or making a mistake like that again, and I think
it's not so much about Red, Ben. I'll tell you what it's about. I have lost friends over being honest on Magic TV. I've lost friends. I've called people out, and I have lost friends because I've wanted to do honest reviews where I'm actually honest about what I think. And very few people do that because it's very difficult to go somewhere in Magic if you're constantly like pissing people off. And I've lost friends over being honest about reviews. So for now, people turning around to me and saying, well, be honest, guys. Like Matty's comment, be honest.
Well, Matt's responded and he said, you're on here saying it wasn't advertised as a magician fooler. That's all I was saying. You crap all over me for having honest dialogue, ?
I'm not crapping all over you. You're just the latest person to say it to me. And you're in the firing line. I got nothing personally against you.
I think, do you know what? It's a tough time, and it's obviously really, really tough. Like, nobody wants to have any kind of threats to their family or anything like this over something like this. And to be sent messages directly like that is that's a tough thing to go through, like.
I think it's tricky as well because there's so much, the context, it can be, everyone takes the context so different. So by showing that it was fooling magicians, or by showing Craig performing it on magicians, laymen, different people around the world, and those guys saying that they're fooled, then you could argue that it's advertised as a magician fooler in a way, but we're not selling this as this is a magician fooling. This is a trick just to fool magicians. The main focus is that it's a working professional effect, right?
No, the way I saw it was that you had come across a method and a really clean demonstration of a card at any number, which, when you showed some of the top creative names in Magic, were gobsmacked by it, and that wasn't a lie. You didn't pay for any of their reactions. You didn't tell them to react in a certain way. That's their genuine reaction.
David Jonathan's in the chat speaking about that right now.
Yeah. And I think it's a real tough. It's just it just feels like a very, very unnecessary situation.
But having said that, like I say, I do go through a method of how you can actually use it to fool magicians in the real world, which I've used to fool people over and over again. And in the video I replied to Dancy with, I actually showed a video of me performing it to a magician in a lecture, him picking up the deck and looking at it and not finding anything. And so then you have people going, okay, so maybe it'll fool magicians, but it won't fool people like Adam Wilbur. Well, ask Peter Nardi. Peter Nardi was on that trailer. I showed it him in person, fooled completely.
I mean, well,
Daniel Chard, fooled completely.
But this is the thing is that you end up getting stuck in this whole situation where you're like, it's like, you don't. It's the fact is, who gives a fuck if it fools magicians? I mean, because.
Hang on. Have you just seen Matty Mediocrity? Can you confirm what you mean by sleazy talk?
Do
you want to confirm what you mean by that? Because here's the thing, my kids and my family are up at my house. I have come down here today on a Sunday to jump in with a session to try and show people magic tricks for free. Why do I keep doing this? Lloyd, I'm out.
I think... Hi, Lloyd.
Hi, Ben.
Hello, man.
I don't get. I've had only good interactions with Matty Mediocrity in the chat, and I don't know what's going on. He says, "Do you want to hear your own double talk?" I'm guessing this is in relation to.
I think that's because he said that's because it what I might get from that is that, you know, Matty Mediocrity said about not advertising it as a magician fooler, and yet, you know, you have all these magicians being fooled on the video, and then Craig saying, well, I didn't, you know, it wasn't expressly advertised as a magician fooler, but then talking about having magician fooler methods within the tutorial and everything like that. And I don't know, like at the end of the day, I think all it was, you know, like.
But the thing is that
I think the problem is that something like this has gone so far now that it's become so heated, and so, you know, so divisive that it's almost impossible to comment on. You know, like there needs to be a cooling off period, you know, and because when you boil it down to what it is, and this is not trying to take, you know, disrespect anyone, you know, I'm a creator myself, they are magic tricks. They are just magic tricks, you know. So let's get some perspective here, you know, and just try and calm down. Like everybody can jump around, you know, like what Craig's getting all these messages. He's getting like personal messages. I've got a viral video that's on like nearly 74 million views on Magic Dads of me doing the finger chopper on my daughter. It's like a 15-second video, and I have got comments on there saying that I shouldn't have kids. I'm traumatized by children. I'm an unfit parent. You know, like people like me should have my kids taken off me. You know, and all these, there's hundreds of these types of comments, and you know, to actually get comments, if I was getting those sent to my phone as messages, like, you know, it would be a lot of a different kind of thing, like, you know. And I think people are too quick to get out pitchforks and everything. Like you don't need to. I think obviously people want to stand their stance and they want to defend what their positions are and everything like that, and that's fine. But there's a way to do these things. So there doesn't need to be so much, you know. I think I try and live by a statement which is seek first to understand to then be understood. And I think everyone is like, you know, doing it the opposite way around. Like, oh no, I'm not going to understand you until you understand me, kind of thing. And I don't know, it's wow. Like obviously, you know, Craig's really hurt because you know, I also know how excited he was for this to come out. You know,
yeah.
And I know what it's like when you put yourself out there with a trick and you put your heart and soul into something, and then you know somebody comes back and says something rubbish about it. I remember when I first put Labelled out, the first ever version of Labelled, where you take the bottle and you rub it and it goes inside the bottle, and I said it was a visual change, and I got ripped into at the Magic Cafe and reviews saying it's not a visual change because your hand covers it at the point where the magic happens, so therefore it's not visual. And I'm like, well, you know, I've done it in a 7-Up bottle, and there is a visual change on the label because it goes from white to like green beneath. And so I was like, you know, it's a tightrope that you walk as a creator to try and, you know, retain enough secrecy about something so you're not handing everything on a plate, but also inform people enough that they don't feel cheated. And it doesn't matter what you do, there's always somebody there that's going to try and rip it down. And it's just a shame that in this instance, if somebody, you know, as well respected as Luke, like if he, I don't know, you know, and it's tough because also in the same vein, like, you know, Craig is very outspoken about people's tricks and trailers. And he turns around and he says, it's just my opinion, you know? So why not have somebody do that to him?
Yeah. Danny Goldsmith's in the chat, and he says, as Ben said, it's not really about the semantics. We should be asking why this community is so disrespectful to each other. That's what this is really about.
Yeah. I think, I don't know. It's tough. It really is. It's, and it's sad, really. It really is sad. Because like,
Adam
you
Wilbur
go
says...
on any magician's website and they're all like, I just want to spread joy and wonder to the world. And yet you go behind the scenes and they're like keyboard warriors everywhere, like tearing each other down. And there's enough of that in the world. You don't need any more, you know? And I think, I don't know. I was going to say to Craig just then, I think probably it's a good thing that he's taken a break and like he's you know, he needs to calm down. I was going to say to him, well, why doesn't he put it out to everyone to do an honest trailer like he does, but to do it for Quantum Deck?
Yeah.
Because sure, there'll be.
I actually told him to do an honest trailer for Quantum Deck. I said to him he should just upload the trailer for the Quantum Deck. The thing that people are getting most hung up on, and I'm going on to the semantics of it, is that complaining about it being advertised as a magician fooler when it fooled loads of magicians. So all we did was hold up a mirror. And some would figure it out, some wouldn't. And that's why there's footage that Craig's put on his channel of him showing magicians at lectures. Like he said, showing it to Peter and Artie in real life and being fooled. Wilbur's just said, I'm a magician. He showed me I was fooled. Moving on. Like, being hung up on the semantics of all that. And then still, here, Craig coming back.
I think, like, I've watched Penn and Teller fool us. Where they are, I am sorry, they have not been fooled by a routine that they've said they've been fooled by.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, Craig.
And I've seen many magician fooler tricks, which I've watched, and I've gone, well, it's just that, is it not? You know, it all depends on your level of knowledge. It depends on what you know, what you've learned.
It's very subjective, isn't it? Like, what is a magician fooler? Exactly. Like Wilbur's in the chat right now live saying he was fooled. So are we not allowed to say it's a magician fooler? Because he's fooled Penn and Teller too, so I think he has the qualifications to say that he knows what it takes to fool the best. Craig's been added in, but I can't see him on here. So Craig, if you can hear me, Craig?
No.
Craig, yo. I'll text him. Try and call back in.
Oh dear. See now we're falling into the trap of like sitting there scrolling through the messages where we're supposed to be doing like a little.
It's a good conversation going back and forth in the chat. There he is. Welcome back, dude. How are you?
I need 5 minutes.
I don't blame you. That was intense as fuck. And
yeah, well, it's what it is, isn't it? I got a few things to say. So the first thing to say. I got a few things to say, actually. I've got a couple of things to say. So, first of all, okay, it seems to be that Matty Mediocrity has a problem with the marketing of this trick. And first of all, Matty, I shouldn't have told you to fuck off. I am in a really bad place right now. I've had shit all week. Shouldn't have sworn at you. For that, I apologise. However, what I want to know, first of all, have you got the trick? Have you watched the tutorial? That's all I need to know, first of all. Have you got the trick? Have you bought the trick? Have you watched the tutorial in full? That's what I want to know. I'll wait.
So Matty's in the chat. The chat is delayed by 30 seconds. So he said...
You guys chat. You guys chat. I'll wait.
But what he said is every single thing I've ever said in Magic has been positive. Everything ever. I'm heartbroken right now.
Yeah, and I'm apologising to you. I'm in a really bad place right now. But, dude, everything you've ever said in Magic has been positive. Turning around and saying, be honest to me when you don't even know me. How is that? After I just spent 5 minutes talking about how I almost shut down my YouTube channel. How is turning around to me and saying, hey, be honest. Hey, before I blew up, turning around and saying it is a dishonest trailer. It is. How is that? How is that saying nothing but positivity? But even though that's the case, I still apologise for blowing up at you. I shouldn't have done that. But answer the question. I want to know if you've got the product and if you watched the tutorial.
You know, I think it's really hard as well. I just want to put this out there. It's really hard as well to one of the big issues with text, messages, comments. They are words that are typed on a screen, and as a person, you can put whatever however you read it.
Sentiment
is the sentiment that you can put to it. You know, could be miles apart from what it was. So it could be like that. Could have been like It could have been like a, be honest, or it could have been like, oh, come on, be honest.
Yeah, you don't know what tone is being said.
The tone of everything when it's in a comment or something like that is so easily kind of misconstrued, and you know, and it's. I think you know, it's.
There's a comment here that says, you versus you. Will this work in the real world? 100%. Will I ever do it to a magician? No. Right? And that could be a completely fair point. It could be that the level of the performer, so you might not be confident enough to show it to another magician as a magician. It might be because every magician's fucking seen the trick, so there's no point performing it.
The other
might
point
be that
is,
you're not
while
confident
waiting, Matty, the other point that to point out while we're waiting for Matty to respond, because I am waiting for him to respond.
He's responded.
Well, hang on. I got a point to make. He's saying you show 10 magicians in the trailer being fooled. That means it's advertised as a magician fooler. Okay, so let's take that one more step. I show 10 magicians on Zoom that that being fooled by the trick. Doesn't that mean that it's a magician fooler over Zoom? We also say in the ad copy it's perfect for virtual shows. I closed my virtual show with this during virtuals. Every single virtual show I did this in. So if you're really reading the letter of the ad copy and you're saying, hey, 10 magicians are shown being fooled this trick, does that mean it's marketed as a magician fooler? The only live performance footage on the trailer was me performing it to real live people in a real live environment. The performances to magicians were shown over Zoom.
I think in all fairness, though, Craig, is that people will take their own, you know, frame it however they want, because, like, you know, they could say, well, maybe you did it over Zoom because you're not going to fly to every single country to go and show these magicians in person. You know, I think it's, you know, I personally think that the advertising and everything like that was fair. I don't.
We spent a long time making sure it was
right. Okay, it wasn't about. It wasn't about 1 minute, Lloyd. It wasn't about performing it to magicians or fooling magicians with this product. It was never about fooling magicians. It was never about that. It was never about that. The reason that we had that footage was because I was in lockdown and I performed it to those magicians in lockdown. There was never a moment when we said, oh, this is going to be marketed as magician fool. And now, yeah, it's marketing 101. It's social proof. Come on, both of you guys worked at one point or another with Illusionist. You as an artist, as a person that's in charge of whatever. I don't know what the hell you did there. The point I'm trying to make is, if you put a trailer out at Illusionist and you could have a magician on that trailer going, oh my God, or whatever, or being a part of that, another magician that's Hell, I remember when Magic Stream launched and they spent an absolute fortune on getting people like Danny D. Ortiz on there because they knew that having that magician on there would sell copies of the product. It's marketing 101. My first clip on Labeled Evolution is me showing Tobias Dostal and Titanus.
Sorry.
You know, I think, you know.
So I'm reading the ad copy, right? So
tough.
Let me read the ad copy to everyone listening. Yeah. So I think we can see, we can derive. It'd be interesting to see 3 points of view as well from us three here and the comments to see if you would class this as advertisement, ad copy, which is advertising as we, Murphy's, Craig, and us advertising it as a magician fool, right? So the first part of the description, I'll read it through, so it might take me like a minute, right? But it's a quote from Adam Wilbur. Adam's in the chat. What's up, Adam? I have not any idea, not a fucking clue, dude. That's really, really good. I'm completely floored. Wilbur. John Bannon, no clue is the quote. Then it says, now it goes into describing the effect. The iconic card any number revolutionized a once-in-a-generation giant leap forward in card any number methodology by Craig Petty. The effect, one double blank deck, one singular playing card lost within. A number is freely named, the magician slowly deals down, the playing card is exactly that position, everything is examinable. Which is true. Here's how it works. A single predicted card, yes, can be signed by the spectator, really is in multiple locations at any time, blah, 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 blah. Right? And this is going all the way through. The most staggering element to all this, the quantum deck, is practical. It's a solid 10 out of 10 worker. Absolutely perfect for table hopping, wedding style gigs, brilliant for casual performances, and identical when performed online. And as you'll see in the performances, plays huge on stage. Right? And then it just goes on then A deck is a real double blank deck. There really is only one signed card inside. Any number can be freely named. Your spectator can really examine the deck. Instant reset, easy to do, no difficult math, black label, certified. Cold hard truth. Okay, this is not real magic, but it's as close as you can get. There is a method. Normally the description wouldn't tell you this, but we want to be as transparent as possible, as this is the only thing keeping the quantum deck from being real actual magic. Any number can be freely named. This is entirely true, but on those unusual occasions when the spectator decides to name a particularly small number or unusually big number, you will need to easily nudge them to a more workable number with a suggestion or two. Easy, right? For example, Magician. Somewhere in the middle of this deck is your signed card. Please name a number from 1 to 52. And the spectator says 2. So the Magician says, remember, we know it's somewhere more towards the middle. Forget what you're thinking for a moment. What does your intuition tell you? Spectator, yes, 11. And then we've got a bunch of quotes saying what are the top minds in magic saying. Craig fooled the shit out of me. I loved it. This is so fucking awesome, blah, blah. And it's just...
There is an element of using the fact that it's fooled some top names in magic.
We're not.
In the advertising.
We basically they get to say a quote or what do you think about this? Can you give us some feedback? And they chose to say they're fooled, or they could have said this is a practical gimmick or this is a worker, but people said that's fooled the shit out of me, and we put their quotes up with permission. So that's not us saying this is a solid fooler. This is us asking, can we have a quote? And that's the quote they choose to give.
In the ad copy, It doesn't mention Magician Fooler at all. In the trailer, it doesn't mention Magician Fooler at all. Yes, we're using footage of me performing it to magicians and fooling them. They were genuinely fooled in those Zoom sessions.
Could I play advocate for a second, Craig? Just playing devil's advocate, because like I've said, I think what you've said and done is fair. Do you think that it's not strongly implied throughout the advertising that it's a magician fooler?
By magicians? Other magicians?
How many tricks do you see marketed, Ben, that says a real magician fooler in the ad copy? They make a big deal of that. This will fool magicians.
Mate, I understand. I'm just, like I say, I'm playing devil's advocate here just because it's... I think it's. I think sometimes.
But the thing is, Ben. I wouldn't mind if it didn't have a 20-minute section on the download that talks about how you can fool magicians with this. Like, that's like, right? Okay, that's like you turning around with Labeled and saying, you know what, this will work with any normal bottle. And you come up with a method that will work with a normal impromptu method with a bottle, but you would never do it that way.
Yeah.
It's just a method that you include.
Yeah, actually, this whole thing is mental. You got a really good point there, Craig. Complaining about whether it is advertised as a magician fool or not. It fucking is. Because there's magicians who've seen it in the comments, and like Adam Wilbur saying, yep, I seen it, I was fooled. Midge Rin said, Lloyd showed me, I was fooled. It is a fucking magician.
Right, okay, we were at Smoke and Mirrors, weren't we?
Yeah.
We were at Smoke and Mirrors filming for more footage of the Quantum Deck, and we're with Mark Bennett. Now, you know how fucking Mark Bennett is. He's been there, done that, bought the T-shirt. He's seen more magic than almost anybody.
He's seen more live performance magic and met more magicians than anyone because he owns.
We were talking about Dancy there, and he turned around to me and he went, well, you showed it me, and you handed me the fucking deck, and I didn't have a clue.
Yeah.
Well,
So even if it is implied.
By the way, the ad copy doesn't say, by the way, buy the Quantum Deck right now, and you will fool Adam Wilbur, John Bannon, and you will even fool Roddy McGee. That's right. Next time you bump into Adam Wilbur at a convention, you can blow his fucking mind off. For only $40, you can have the Quantum Deck, and you can make Adam Wilbur literally piss his pants. What it says is it's a fucking magician fooler. Will it fool every magician? It's not. I don't use it as a magician fooler, but go and ask Mark Bennett if he got fooled. Yes. Go ask Peter Nardi if he got fooled in person. Yes. Go ask fucking Daniel Chard if he got fooled in person. Yes. Go ask Jordan if he got fooled in person. Yes. Go ask a million other people that are magicians that were at that fucking lecture at Smoke and Mirrors if they got fooled. Yes. And if I can find some poor unsuspecting fucker at the Blackpool Magic Collection that hasn't seen that fucking trick, I'll fool the shit out of them as well.
Fuck yes. So this is a positive comment. Someone says, apart from anything else, Craig has proven himself time and time again to be nothing short of full of integrity and genuinely supportive. At the very least, we know there was no intent to be deceptive, and that's true.
You know, I think
Danny Goldsmith says, I love the use of the honest trailer voice.
I think if you, Craig, if you put this out there and said, I invite anyone that has a YouTube channel to do an honest trailer on the Quantum Deck, I reckon you'd find that near enough all of them come back with it's a fair trailer.
You know what I plan on doing every Saturday at 12 o'clock? I put an honest trailer on my channel. I plan on next Saturday putting the honest trailer for the Quantum Deck, and it's just going to be the fucking Quantum Deck. And then at the end, for 5 minutes, it's just going to be me going, fuck you, for literally 5 fucking minutes.
No, I think...
There's an exclusive for you.
Yes.
Look, the bottom line is, I shouldn't have blown up at Matty. If he's still on the thing, I'm very sorry. I'm very fucking... If you only knew...
You can tell you're stressed.
If you only knew what it was fucking like having to deal... Try and imagine for a second having a fucking text message from a number that you just don't know. It doesn't come up with the number. And I've sent this to the police saying, you know, for what you've done to Luke Dancy and the magic community, I'm going to rape your wife and fuck your son. Now imagine having that fucking message and imagine how I feel right now.
Wow.
That's why I want to fucking... That's why my finger was hovering over that fucking TV button.
I think putting things into context and into perspective, that would drive me to the edge. I was saying whilst you weren't on, Craig, I've got a Magic Dads video that's had like nearly 75 million views, and I've got hundreds of comments saying it's me doing the finger chopper to my daughter. And hundreds of comments of people saying that I'm an unfit parent and that I should have my kids taken off me. But those are comments on a Facebook video. They're not personal comments sent to my phone, and not you know, not one of them has gone that far, you know. And I think it's I can't believe that somebody would actually turn around and say something that dark. That's a horrible person. And do you know what, Craig? If they're that nasty in their own head, then they live in a prison of their own mind, mate. Because that's a dark place to be in. And you can only just, like, as horrible as it is, the best thing to do is just let that pass as much through you as possible, because you don't want to give that any more energy, because something like that will tear you up inside. And that person...
Yeah, I agree.
That person, it could be a kid that doesn't have a clue what they're saying. You know, like, I don't know if you know, like, I've just been through hell, like, because nearly 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago tonight, kids torched a car on my driveway, torched my car. It burnt out my car, burnt out my other car, burnt the front of my house. We had to get the kids out of the house. It was like 2:30, nearly 3 in the morning. You know, it was horrible, and you know, you don't know if it's just a kid that is like that hasn't even grown the part of their brain to deal with consequence yet. You know, so you've got to try and let those things go, and you know, and if, like you say, pass it to the police if needs be, because that's serious. You know, but try your best to keep your own mental health.
I am. And as I say, it took me reading an hour of messages saying, oh, Magic TV is the best thing ever, the Magic TV is the best thing ever, that made me realise that, like, this is the minority. But that's why I'm not in the best of moods at the moment, because it has been literally the week from hell. And it all started with Luke Dancy, because he's got a huge network of followers, and they've decided to hang off his every word. And what's hilarious is 99% of the people are commenting based on what people are saying, and not actually based on even watching the trailer. The fucking trick isn't even out till Monday.
Do you know, I again, like, with this shit happens. This shit happens when you put yourself out there as a creator, and a lot of people make judgments on things that are on pre-release that they haven't got, they haven't seen, they don't know, and this happens not just in Magic, it happens all throughout the internet, and it's a shame, that it does happen,
Well, I can see that Matty mediocrity. Look, I don't agree with. Yeah, whatever. Look, I apologise. I shouldn't have blown up at him. He says that he's in Ohio. Right. Well, here you go. 2 days after the Magic convention, 2 days after the Blackpool Magic convention, I'm flying over to Penguin Magic for a week, which I believe is in Ohio. Is it in Ohio? Can someone tell me? Yes, it is. So I'm going over to Ohio for a week, and I'm going to be with the guys.
The 25th of February. Huh? Are you going on the 25th?
I'm literally going 2 days after Blackpool finishes, on the Wednesday, and I'm coming back on the 4th of March. I'm there for quite a while. I'm there for like 10 days or something. So I'm going to be in Ohio. So, yeah, man, drop me a message.
That's the 23rd of February. So, Matty, Craig will come and say hi.
Yeah. I'll buy you a beer. Just watch the other hand. That was a joke, by the way. Just...
That went off my head.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that was fun. Happy Sunday. Apart from all the negative shit, Quantum Deck's been the most exciting thing I've ever been involved in terms of seeing it from the start to finish, from when Craig first showed it to me and fooled me with it, and then watching Craig go along the journey of showing it to other people, weddings, gigs, stage shows, magicians, everyone under the sun, and then seeing everyone else see the trailer go live around the world, and all the excitement, and rightly so. And at the end of the day, Craig is the most controversial man in Magic. There was no way this was going to go quietly under the radar. We got to be fucking drunk to think that was going to happen.
I think that's why I say, just try and look after your own mental health throughout all of this, and try and let a lot of these comments just wash through you, because and that's why I said to you, are you proud of what you put out? Because if that's the only thing you can be. You can only be proud of your body of work, and you can only do what you think is right. And there are always, especially with somebody as controversial as you, Craig, there's always gonna be people that love you and people that hate you.
And so you know what? Sometimes I'm controversial on purpose, and when I am, I'm absolutely fine with it. In this situation, I wasn't. I was actually genuinely with the trailer. Like, that's why the ad copy was written the way that Lloyd read it out. Yeah. It was designed to be we wanted to create a product that just was so ridiculously honest, because I think the trick's absolutely amazing, and it doesn't need anything in terms of lies. I stand by it. I think it's an amazing trick.
Right. I remember when you first showed me the trailer, and I was just like, wow, such a clean effect. So clean and direct, and the fact that that you did it straight away again on Wilbur, and I was just like, I think I had the exact same reaction as D. Christopher did, and I think
so. Perseus has finally turned up.
Oh, has he? Oh, yeah. He's been watching it. He's gone, it's calmed down now. I'll jump on now.
Trying to add him in.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's just a crazy situation, really, isn't it?
Yeah, there's lots of comments coming through. I'm trying to scan through them.
Yeah, it's like I was saying to Lloyd.
Danny Goldsmith says Magic TV is fantastic.
But we're all sat here, supposed to be doing a session, and we're reading comments. But yeah.
Will there be copies of Quantum Deck at Blackpool? There he is. Hey, partner. How you doing?
Hey, man.
You good?
Yeah, but you said yeah.
Where have you been?
I just it all makes sense, right? No.
It's...
How are you guys?
We're very good. I think.
How are you doing, Ben? Long time no see, man.
Yeah, man. It's been too long. Are you a Blackpool this year?
No, unfortunately not. Not this year. Yeah.
Can I just share one of my favourite all-time stories of Blackpool? Well, absolute gold is because of this man here, Perseus. So I was with Chris Webb and him and I can't remember who else, but we're all drinking. We're all really drunk. We decided we're going to go to like a nightclub or something. I can't even remember where it was. We go to a nightclub and we're there beering it up. And Perseus starts dancing, right? But he starts dancing, miming Lance Burton's Candle Act as a dance in the nightclub. And then he's going through all these routines, like he's doing linking rings routines, where he's doing full-on linking rings routines,
what?
but like in mime, to the point where girls are coming up and they're like, "What's this dance?" And he's going, "Here, like just do this, do." And they're doing the spin on there and everything and doing flamboyant moves. It's just mental. Like, he knows Lance Burton's Candle routine, like, down to a T. Like, all the little touches and everything. It was hilarious. Like, yeah.
Oh, my. Yeah, I have forgotten about that.
Drunk. We were proper drunk.
Yes. But still having an amazing time.
Chris James says, my Medusa stuff should be here tomorrow.
Whom? What's
Chris
his name?
James. He also used the surname Gagliola, something like that as well.
Oh,
Gagliola.
Yeah.
Stuff should be there tomorrow, he says.
Probably.
Have you seen the Medusa?
I have not seen it, no, but I know of it.
It's beast.
Stuff myths are made of, quite literally.
That's a good quote for it.
Yeah, I've
Have you seen?
As soon as I heard about it, I was like, "Oh man, that's such a good idea."
Have you got one of the decks there, Perseus, to show Ben?
I mean, I don't know. I can make this one if you want to slowly make it into stone.
Oh, look at that! Oh, that looks better than I thought it did.
And the sound is all the money.
Yes.
It is. Dude.
Oh, look at that. Fuck me.
I love it. I really do.
And
Ben, it's not just the deck. It comes with like a lighter, a stone
like
Sharpie.
turns to stone, doesn't it?
Sharpie, yeah. There's a full set. I
Perseus, my mum just texted me saying, "Yay, I'm waving at Perseus on the telly."
I miss her so much. That came out wrong.
Yeah. She's watching it live right now. I didn't know she was watching it.
Oh dear.
Bless her.
Yeah, have you seen all the other stuff that comes with it, like the coin Ben and stuff?
No, I haven't. No, not.
Oh, can you show Ben what?
You know what? Are we doing this?
Let's do it. Whatever it is, let's do it.
Yes, we're doing it.
He's unboxing. He's unboxing. See, that just looks good as well, doesn't it?
Fully
Hand
illustrated.
By who? Oh, nice. Look at that. So good.
I adore it. I know I made it, so it doesn't
Oh,
count.
look at that! But that's insane.
But I have to say it.
So you know the whole story. If you stare at Medusa, Ben, then you turn to stone.
Yeah,
So the coin with a mirror on it's so smart.
Isn't that Perseus who fought the Gorgon?
Yes, the what?
Hey!
That's how I made it. That's why it's made in the first place. I used to have a stage name, if you remember, back then. Ben.
Oh,
Wait,
yes.
yeah, Demon or something.
Back then.
Come
Wow.
on, yeah. And at some point I was like, you know what? I should probably start using my own name. And I was trying to find an effect so they can remember my name. And I was like, Medusa. Okay, let's turn stuff into stone.
That's a good show.
Nice. Yeah. I love it. I love the idea. And you know, I love because I do Omnideck a lot. I mean, I definitely do Medusa, but I do Omnideck a lot, and a lot of people a lot of magicians are like, oh, but I like the Phantom deck because, like, you know, you can fan through the cards and everything. For me personally, the change into a solid block, I say block of glass when I perform it. The change of it being a fluid kind of deck of cards into a solid block, for me, is much stronger than it just being a deck of cards, a clear deck of cards. But what I love about Medusa is that it's a myth that everyone knows, and you know, so it's actually giving a really good, strong context to that same sort of, you know, transformation, you know, and it's it makes so much sense. You know?
So like it sets them up to see it coming down the road, and then when it happens, it's like you know that whole thing. You know, you need to hear it finish, right? So everything's turned into stone. Finally, you got the deck. It's like dun 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 dun. It's that fucking that big relief moment.
Thank you for doing that.
Yes, I knew I had to do it.
Oh mate, yeah.
Craig, do you do Omni deck in your walk around?
Agree.
Say again?
Do you do Omni deck in your walk around?
Yeah, I've just actually filmed a review show special for all of Perseus's new stuff. Me and Ryland filmed it.
Cannot wait to hear what you have to say.
Bottle, Medusa, Cannibal King, and Cyclops. So we reviewed all four of them and performed all four of them. My favorite was, they're all great, but my favorite was Medusa. And I chose on purpose, and I'm not going to give anything away because I don't want to, but I chose on purpose to just use the Sharpie lid. And you'll see why in my performance. So I actually did what you say do on purpose in order to just make it a Sharpie lid so that I could use it that way, because I had an idea of using it just the lid, and it actually works way better, and you'll see that when I perform it. But Ryland's favorite trick, he liked Medusa, but his favorite trick was Cannibal King, which is really cool. Have you guys seen Cannibal King?
I have.
You know,
I must have seen.
I went to his website to watch a video demo of it, but there was none.
Well, watch Magic TV. There was a full performance of it.
A, COVID. B, Alan broke his hand.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh, no.
What are the odds?
What's the effect? What's the premise?
The whole idea is basically, it's like a one-card version of Cannibal Kings. So instead of having four kings and three missionaries, you have one card, you have one king, and you visibly make the king eat the card. But then you've got this really cool moment where you say, well, if he's now inside the king, let me show you. And you take the king, and it's a little bit like you just pull back the center of the card, a bit like your card splitting, and you actually see it open up, and you see the indices of the four inside the king, belly. And then you heal it up, and there's nothing there. It's like a mini torn and restored card, and then you visibly pop the four of hearts back out of it, and then hand everything for examination, and you're left with a regular deck. And Ryland performs it.
That's good. That's good. It makes sense. It's almost like it's giving it a good reason to do a TNR in the middle of an effect.
Yeah, it's really good. Really good.
Some great comments coming in. Some great comments coming through. Nigel Quinn says, "Hey Perseus, the Medusa project is superb. You could somehow incorporate the Quantum deck and the Medusa project, ? Have the revealed Akan in the Q deck, and then it turns to stone." That's super cool.
That's super cool.
Super cool. Will there be
if
copies?
Only it didn't sold out in the pre-sale, so I can have it. That would be nice.
Rich Piccone says, "Hey all, what's the effect Medusa? Looks freaking fab from the product itself." So, describe the Medusa for Rich in the comments here. Describe the product itself in 15 seconds.
2 words.
Me or him?
You. 15 seconds.
Me. Okay. It's not a trick. It's a project with multiple different ideas and handlings and concepts and routines. saying it's like an Omni deck is doing it a disservice. Yes, you could have it as an Omni deck where you have someone pick a card, they pick a card, you introduce the concept of Medusa, you bring a coin out that's got Medusa on it. They look at the mirror on the other side, they breathe into it, and a number appears in the mirror, and it's the value of their card. And then, you point Medusa at the deck, and then slowly the deck becomes to solidify into solid stone, at which point you give it them. But it's more than just that. You can there's a beautiful routine where you take a coin, put it in their hand, give them a lighter, get them to wave the lighter, put the lighter down. We're talking about how you're going to make the coin into stone. It doesn't work, but then they look back at the lighter and the lighter's stone, which is what I do, but I actually make the thing in their hand stone. So what I do is I say, I'm going to do a trick with a Sharpie marker and a lighter. I'm just going to take the lid off the Sharpie marker. Can you hold on to that in your hand? Brilliant. I'm just going to take the lighter. I'm just going to wave the lighter around underneath your hand. I'm going to try and do something. Look, I've got this picture of Medusa, blah, 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 blah. They open up their hand, and in the hand, the Sharpie cap has turned into a solid stone. And then I say, of course, I understand how that happened, but you didn't notice I put Medusa right next to the lighter, and when they look down at the lighter, now the lighter's turned stone. There's so many different concepts and ideas and routines. You could have 10 magicians do this, and they do it in a completely different way every time. It's fucking amazing. That's your synopsis.
15 seconds, nailed it. But no, that really is. It's fucking good. Adam Wilbur says Perseus gets it. One of the best doing it, and so pumped he's putting out his work on his own site. Nothing but respect and admiration for you, brother. And then we got
likewise.
Danny Goldsmith says this is a huge improvement on the Omni deck, which is true.
Yeah, it gives it great context. It really does.
Paul Knight in the chat says, hey Lloyd, hey Craig, and hey Ben and Perseus. Long time no speak. We got Review said the coin mirror ghost liquid idea was off the charts. Crazy. Will there be any quantum decks at Blackpool?
No chance.
Not a fucking chance. Abraxas channel, what's up, gangsters? Everyone go and check out Abraxas' YouTube, by the way. It's the best channel next to mine and Craig's out there at the minute. And anyone else. That's Nathan Lindley, who's going to be helping us with the podcast live at Blackpool, by the way.
Yes, he is.
With a special something that Craig's going to regret.
We need all the fucking help we can get, let's be honest.
Craig's going to so regret this at Blackpool. Yeah, by the way, this is the last Sunday session live before Blackpool.
Are you going to do a Sunday session live at Blackpool?
Oh, mate. We could try.
We could fucking do it.
Do you know
all I
what?
need is my laptop and a Wi-Fi connection.
If you could get a Wi-Fi connection, which I reckon you could, I bet you could go a Sunday session live at Blackpool. That'd be amazing.
We could all just jump on the camera.
That will be depressing for those who didn't make it.
I know. Oh, man. What's the COVID...
I've got a wedding fair on Sunday. I have to do it. So.
Well, that's your fault for being a successful magician. That's his fault for being Greek. Me and Lloyd don't have either problem, so we're fine.
Yeah, so I'm not a successful magician. Sean Defines asked, will there be any new products on your site anytime soon, Perseus?
I will work on it. I don't want to rush things. I mean, people have told me, make sure you have something new each month. No, I won't. I want it, whenever I release something, I want it to be exactly as I want it to be. So hopefully is the answer. I'll certainly try to have something out as soon as possible. I'm working in numerous projects.
Exciting stuff. By the way, when you see the review of Perseus' stuff, it's 5 minutes longer than it should do, because for some reason Ryland was fascinated that every single one of the packages has a picture on it that's hand-drawn by Perseus on every trick. Yeah. And so Ryland was describing each individual drawing before we could even review the fucking product.
I appreciate that, but that's the whole thing. I mean, I want people, to get the product and go like, I don't want to throw this away. I want to have this on my bookcase. I want to look at it. It's a nice piece of art, if you may say, like nice aesthetical plus, But yeah, I appreciate it.
It's the attention to detail that makes it just go from it shows people that you're not just trying to do it just to make money. You're actually putting your heart and soul into these projects. Like, I know that you've been working on Medusa for at least 5 years since I've known you.
More than 10.
But I mean, to actually get it to market, it's been like more than I've known you for at least
Oh, yeah.
5 years, and you wouldn't do it unless it was done absolutely perfectly. So
And bottle as well.
yeah, but oh my god, man, you fooled me in the trailer with bottle because I know how it works and I couldn't figure out the new handlings.
Yes.
Did you guys see
It has
them?
changed. It has changed. It had no. I mean, it is, but it's not. That's not why I made it. I don't make magic for full magicians. I don't give a crap.
I
Magicians
was
are
just
full.
prodding the bear there. That's all.
Lathan Lindley's just said free SLS tattoos for anyone who joins the live. So free Sunday live session tattoos. I think that's for anyone who joins. Should we all get tattooed together? I mean, Craig's getting tattooed on Friday regardless. So
Really?
Fuck you, sheep fucker.
we can't say what's happening, but it's gonna get bloody.
Are we still talking about sheep?
Yes. So no new products in the near future then, Perseus?
No, I mean the thing is, apart from products, we're also trying to publish books and booklets. So I have a lot of things that I'm doing, and I'm also writing my new book on my own. So I have too many on my plate at this point, and it's like where to which I'm going to pull the trigger to go like, okay, we'll go with this on this.
Yeah.
We'll see.
That's good. That's good to just not overdo it. You know what I mean? So
I don't want to be rushed. I want it to be exactly as I want it. I want it to be for people to be. I mean, I saw a post by Eric Mead at some point before I even start the company that said, hey, magic companies, not putting written instructions in your products and expect us to only be happy with a link and explanation comes off as lazy. Just that, which was his opinion, right? All right. And I was like, you know what? Why not? Why shouldn't I have a booklet to every physical product? Some people prefer to, and I did. I said, so, I mean, because at some point I thought to myself, why not? At some point you play with an effect, you leave it away, and you come back at it like 2 months after. Why have to relog to your account? Just flip over, skim through the booklet. Oh yeah, that's how it's done, and move on. It's a nice. How do you call it?
Additional bonus?
Yeah, it's an additional, that's extra something that, it shows that I want them to be happy. When you get it, I want it to feel like you're opening a toy, like you are going to use it. I mean, I had a lot of, my magicians' friends going like, okay, why do you want me to get, for the support? And like, I don't want to get you to get anything for the support. I want you to buy something that you're going to use. Go on the website, look at the effects, and tell me, I'm going to definitely use that. I'm going to give it to you. That's it.
Yeah, that's such a good way of doing it.
Some magic tricks are definitely created and put out there just to make money, and then others are passion projects, and they are part of you as an artist and part of what you a part of yourself you want to share, and you definitely.
Well, here's a question to Ben and Craig. Have you ever put out any projects in written form?
Yes. Well, yes, I have. Yeah, because I did my first few releases were written form. I did like Hypno Trick and Terrible Sessions, my repertoire booklets. I've done PDF sort of downloads as well, like the Anywhere Principle, and stuff like that. So,
nice.
But yeah, they I think you ended up going. I think there's a lot of benefits of teaching on video. There's a lot, you can say a lot in a video.
Absolutely.
Which you can't write in a book, and you can go off on little tangents here and there, which won't translate well in a book and things like that. But then also, like you say, having something physical in your hands and something that's been carefully worded and crafted and everything like that, there's value in that as well. So I think there's.
Don't get me wrong.
Oh no!
I also have video explanations to all my physical products.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you know.
That's possibly, you know, like you say, that's the all-encompassing kind of route. You know, like I one day wanted. I know I've kind of released it twice, once in a booklet form and once with E, but I want to put all of my work out on the signed bill in pen.
That'd be amazing.
And I was actually on a Skype with Carl Purnell, and he turned around and he was like, "Do you know what? He was like, I think what you have, because every time he's like, every time you Skype with me or Zoom with me, you show me a new method or a new handling for it. He's like, you've got so many. He's like, what this would do really good would be a really nice book, you know, a really well illustrated and well written book. And I think to do something like that, but then also, you know, have a DVD or something in the back of the book as a visual kind of explanation would be maybe the way to go with it, you know. But yeah, it's I think.
Then why haven't you called yet, Vern?
Sorry, why have I not called yet?
Yeah, let's make it reality.
Well, let's do it. I mean, that'd be.
Are we seeing the birth of a project live on air? Guys, you two working together on a written form project with Perseus' illustration skills, that would be... Because wasn't your Terrible Sessions, Ben? Wasn't that somebody who drew it, right?
I think I drew some of the pictures in it.
Maybe if you could get Perseus...
No. I took photos in that, but...
The front cover was like a graffiti style, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, I did the artwork for the covers of Repertoire.
Repertoire.
Yeah. So I did the artwork on that.
You and Perseus need to team up and do this. This would be insane. So if there's new products coming to the site soon... And by the way, for everyone watching at home, what is the link to your website?
Let's chat because what you're putting out and how you're putting it out is you know, would be I think that's what I would like Sharp Money to kind of be, or whatever it ends up being called. The thing is, you know, I just want there's so many different ways, and like Lloyd knows because he filmed the videos for E. We put 4 different methods on, or 4 different routines on there. But like Lloyd had to fight for just putting that many on, and I was like, but I would like to do a whole thing, and like, you know, because I had a whole bunch of switches and everything like that, and we tried to put it out there as much as possible. But it was also like the project was really focused on the one main version, you know, which was pushed in it. But I've got so much work and so many ideas and different setups and weird ways of doing it and things like that. And you know, there are signed versions, non-signed versions, you know, different ideas. I've got a rolled up bill change. I've got, you know, one where the banknote turns into the cartridge from the pen and everything like that, you know, and so like more a transposition rather than impossible.
Oh, that's good to have it change into the cartridge, the pen.
Yeah, so the rolled up banknote turns into the cartridge, and you're like, well, if I've got this now, then you must have, you know, and it just, you know, logically connects them, you know. But like, if anyone knows me and how I create magic, I don't stop thinking about ideas. You know, I still think about linking card ideas. I still, you know, still toying around. I sent you a video the other day, Lloyd, of a bottle switch idea, because for labelled, if you know, the epitome for me is with labelled. Somebody goes to a shop, buys a bottle, hands it to me, they sign it, it goes in the bottle. That would be the best. The best kind of version. That's
the Holy Grail.
Yeah, that's like the Holy Grail, which I don't think is ever quite possible. But there are definite ways to get as close to that as possible. And so I showed Lloyd a video of me with like a little bottle switch idea. And if you could do an invisible switch of a bottle like that, then you start to elevate it even more. And I just never stopped thinking about little ideas because they kind of like just sit there, and it's not like I'm going every day, how do I do this? It's just like one day I'll just be sat there, or I'll be driving and it will just pop into my head, and I'm like, oh, and then I work with that for a little bit, and then I shelve it and stuff like that, and I'm constantly doing that with signed banknote and pen, constantly. You know, it's you know, I'm tempted because they've extended the Penn and Teller Fool Us auditions until the 28th of February. Quite tempted to audition Sharp Money for that. Because if I
No.
do Penn and Teller Flawless, it's either going to be, a version of the link card, or it's going to be Sharp.
One card link is fucking
OCL's brilliant.
See, the thing
wild.
is with one card link, the way the I've got different work on the linking card, and I think I would do it slightly differently to doing one card link, because one card link, like Blake Voigt did the linking banknote, and he did it. He had balls of steel to go and do that right so up close to them and everything. But like as magicians, you know the method. Even if you don't know, even if you can't see how it's done, you know the method, because how else are you going to link stuff?
Who cares?
Well, yeah. No. I understand. I don't do magic to fool. Like I don't do magic to fool magicians. But if you're
'Cause
going
you
on
can't.
Penn and Teller Flawless, you can't want to do something. You want to give it your all. And so I'm working a routine with the link card, which I think the one thing where they would come to it, that I think I would maybe be able to not have them notice that one bit, but then I've got two versions for Sharp Money, and they have different. They've got different trade-offs, but one of them would be banknote in hand, it vanishes, and Teller's holding the Sharpie, and he opens it himself. I never touch it again, and he finds the signed banknote inside the Sharpie that he's holding.
Well, that one sounds good.
I have a question for all of you, all three of you.
Okay.
Yes.
Because there are two avenues someone might take when going to Penn and Teller, right? You either go there to fool them, which is always cool, the trophy is cool, blah, blah, blah. Or you're going there, like, you're not going to fool them, so just show a good, really nice show reel of your style of magic and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
How do you guys think you can do both? How do you think you can be loyal to your style? Because, for instance, I'm not a magician fooler. I don't care about full magicians. I do specific kind of magic. And if I went to Penn and Teller, I in order to fool them, I would have to use their knowledge against them. I would have to devise something that probably wasn't going to be a nice routine. Because how do you think someone can go about it? How do you be loyal to what you represent in magic, but also
with the intention of fooling them?
Yes. Because I think it's a different beast, performing magic, full stop, and trying to fool magicians. It's a completely different avenue.
Yeah, this.
Sorry.
I love that song. Yeah, there's so many things that fool magicians that make absolutely no sense at all.
Is Ben frozen for you too?
Yes, he looks
he's
like a deer in the
about
headlights.
to kill someone.
He does look like he's about to kill someone.
I just thought he was listening really intently.
Like things that can be sort of not even magician foolers, but have you seen the center double? You can perform like this from the deck, so you get a center double.
Yeah.
You know that thing? So you can fool magicians by doing a center double. That. And then show that it's one card. Do you know what I mean? Like the idea.
But that's the thing. This is using
which
their
is nothing
knowledge
to a
against
layman.
them.
Yeah.
This is using their knowledge against them, and in the end, it's not going to be like a nice trick or something. It's going to be strange or something. I don't know. I mean,
For me, I would have to tackle. It'd have to be. I probably would use this. Like Adam Wilbur used Clone by JC Rodata. I would use something like the Quantum deck on them, which is a fun trick, which is a magician fooler, but also it's a fun effect as well. Like the audience get it. That's probably the route I would go, or create something like you said just to fool them. That's where my head goes immediately. Like, what would you do?
I I would probably do well. I think that the quantum deck would have a very good chance of fooling them if it was structured correctly.
Yeah.
If you just invited them up on stage and you just did the routine that I did on everybody, it probably wouldn't fool them. I don't think they'd understand how everything works. I don't think they get the ins and outs of absolutely everything, but they don't need to. They just turn around and say, and that's the thing, going back to the quantum deck, a lot of the time when I fool magicians with it, even if they've noticed the thing, they still don't understand how that makes any sense. Do you know
In my video when I perform it to Kaylee, I show her the thing when she can't spot it, and then I say, well, this is what it is. And then she goes, okay, granted, but
how does that help?
How does that help the method?
And I think that that's what a lot of magicians have said. Now, the problem is the people that are going on about it now, have had a week of speculation on the cafe and so on and so forth. But I would probably hope that Penn and Teller haven't bought a quantum deck or seen a quantum deck, which I'm sure they haven't. And I'd do that, but I would do something very different for it. So, for example, you remember that trick that we talked about on the podcast, Lloyd? Where it's £3,000, but it duplicates a person's signature exactly.
Yes.
I would probably do something like combine that with the quantum deck. Ooh. So I'd show that I've got a blank deck of cards and I put it in the box with that thing. I'd then get a regular deck of cards, have someone pick a card, sign it, and then take the card, put it in the deck, put those cards in a blender. So like they're gone. And then I'd say, remember the blank deck, and I'd pick up the blank deck along with that card, which is now put into that place, and I'd say, right, this blank deck's been here, we put it in that box in the very beginning, we've destroyed your card, name a number, you deal down to that number, and it's their signed card at that number. So I'd combine a couple of methods together, and hopefully that it would fuck their head up. And it's still my trick, it's still my style of performing, but I'm changing it in order to
Would it be unethical if you use the card duplicator and you pretended to palm it out? So you walk across the stage like this, pretend to load it in, and then afterwards they say, oh, we've seen you palm it, and you can go, I fucking didn't. Is that allowed on Penn and Teller?
Yeah, I think you can kind of screw with them a little bit, because I don't
similar things.
But I think you combine two methods like that together.
Yeah.
I think that you're.
Side question: what do you guys think of Yamiranda's Legacy wallet?
Well, I've just bought it, so not bad.
You do buy everything.
Do buy everything. Someone's got to review that thing.
You almost said.
I think. Do you know what? If it does what it says on the tin, as it says it, reliable and it's durable, then bloody hell, that's.
I'm a little bit excited because while I've been on the phone, while I've been with you guys, he sent me a message. Because I've said I'm picking one up at Blackpool, and he's like, cool. And he said, by the way, just seen the trailer for Crystallize. I want to buy one of those for sure. So hopefully that'll knock a bit of money off the thing for me. Here's Crystallize. There you go. You can have that. And here's a big wad of cash. So
here's a salt shaker. Give me that James Bond $10,000 worth of kit, please. Yeah, what do you guys all think of it?
Looks brilliant. I mean, like Ben said, if it does what it says it does, and the accuracy, and I mean, it is James Bond shit.
I almost impulse bought it off the website, and then I realized I don't fucking carry a wallet. And if I do, it's something like the Orphic wallet, which is I'm very minimal. It's gotta be. And I realize genuinely it wouldn't suit me as much as I'd want to play with it.
It comes with a wallet, right?
Yeah, it's pretty tasty though, right? It is.
It makes sense.
It's a beast.
Yeah, it's not going to be your everyday carry wallet, is it?
No.
I'll just stick that in my back pocket and sit on it a few hundred times.
No,
I think
the thing is, you could achieve a similar effect without using it. Let's be honest, you could.
Yes.
You could achieve a similar, in the eyes of a spectator, you could achieve a similar effect without using it. But that's the same with anything. You know, look at Pro Mystic's Omni wallet. You could achieve a similar effect without actually using that wallet. Hell, let's be honest. Let's look at the fucking quantum deck. me and Lloyd have played around with ways of doing the quantum deck with a regular blank deck of cards.
Yes. Yeah, we have.
Yeah. It's a lot harder and it changes the method completely, but we've played around with that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you don't need it. No spectator at any gig that you go to is going to go, you know what? You were worth every penny because of that card that appeared in your wallet at that point in that routine. That's why you're worth the money that I booked you. It's just said no layman ever. But it's just a fucking tool to play with.
I do my anything routine, which is I mean it's just my routining for like the one ahead principle. But I do that and load. You know, it's either a card switch with a bob that they're holding onto the whole time, or it's inside an envelope inside a sealed compartment of my wallet. You know, and arguably, like Legacy is just a business card that's in the slot of the wallet.
I was gonna ask about this. This is in its essence. What you were saying, it is to the spectator very similar. Your anything principle, right? Which is in your wallet is a pre-written business card.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't want to take like that. Like I say, it's just it's my meaning for that principle essentially. But it's. That served me well over time, and I've I have a love-hate relationship with electronics, if I'm honest, because I love the cleanliness of them. They are so clean, like
I don't trust them. I'm afraid.
Do you do any electronics, Perseus?
I
have a bunch, and
I've had apps fail on me. I've had electronics fail on me. I've had electronics. At the moment, I've got the Amverdi die, the 3 set, and the charger's broken.
No.
The charge port for the screen has popped in and got loose. So I've got to somehow open that up and fidget with that to try and get the charging point sorted. And there's they could just be a bit of a ball ache, but they do give a very, very clean effect. Sometimes they're almost too clean. Yeah. So I did the Amverdi die once to some family members, and they were just gobsmacked by it, and so much so that they sat there talking about it. And one of them turned around and went, "Well, you could have you could make an electronic dice, which gives you a reading of which way that it is." And he went on to say, you could then have something in your pocket that maybe buzzes you or tells you what sort, gives you a certain amount of buzzes. And then one of them went, "Yeah, but there's no charging point. How would you charge it?" And they were like, "Well, you could get wireless chargers and stuff like that." And they basically brainstormed any electronic dice on the market.
But did you laugh it off and be like, "Yeah, I could," but that's
and
mental.
I sat there and I was like, "Wow, do you know what? Do you think this could be made? Because if you could actually make that, then we could make some serious money here." And I kind of played it like that. Yeah. But because actually the way that I was performing it, I had it in my trouser pocket, and I got one of the reads wrong, and so I got one of the things wrong. If I'd got them all right, they probably would have assumed that's what I was using. But because I actually got one of the reads wrong, I think I said a 2 instead of a 5. And I think because I didn't want to, you don't want to go like that. And, I'll just double check. Like this. I had one woman at a gig, she said, I've worked out one other thing. She went, the thing with the die. And she said, "You got something in your top pocket." And that's because when I was turning my back, I was just holding my head down and looking in my top pocket. So so people are kind of somewhat clued up to it, but the majority of people, 99% of people, aren't even going to have that on their radar, and they do give a very clean effect. The markers, what's it, color match.
Color match, yeah.
Such a great routine, and so many amazing ways that you can reveal it, apart from just having a similarly coloured picture. Look at what Justin Willman did on Ellen and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I know Ben Earl did it on his TV show with it being dressed in that kind of way. But I mean,
by the way, when it comes to colour match, Ben, I have something in my possession. I think I'm one of only 3 magicians in the world that's got one. That's going to turn that whole thing on its head.
Oh, really? Who are the other two magicians?
I can't say. But Lloyd's not one of them.
I'm not one of them. It's nothing to do with me.
Lloyd Green is frozen for me. He just looks like he's wiping his nose. He's paused like.
I was for ages. No, I wasn't. Can you see? Am I frozen for anyone else?
No, I can see your.
Oh well, fuck you, Ben. Rich Relish made a really good point in the chat about the Yamaranda wallet, which is make sure your spectator spells everything correctly. Because you have to type in on the phone and then it prints to the wallet. The spectator types it in, right, in one of the versions. So imagine they typed in something incorrect. You could play to it and say, I knew you were going to do that, I suppose.
I'm sure that Miranda's thought about this, and I don't know if that's the case, but I would love it if just purely from a super cool point of view, if nothing else, if that wallet linked up to a Labco Mindbuster.
Yeah.
Can you just imagine you do nothing? Right, I'm going to put this wallet on this table in front of you. Here's a notepad. Write anything on there that you want to. Brilliant. Hold on to the piece of paper. Put my notepad over there. Pass me my wallet. Look at that. Show him. Fucking hell.
Josh Riley messaged us saying, wouldn't it be good if it could link with Cognito? Because then they can think of something. They never say it out loud, write it down, type it. They just think of it, and then it's written down in your wallet. Which would be fucking insane.
Do you know what?
Isn't that how the wallet works, though?
So the wallet works by taking information from an app, and then it...
Yeah, but they don't say it, something. They just type it. They're just thinking about it, and then just type it.
They have to type it into they have to type it into the phone, or you have a confederate type it into the phone for you.
But with Cognito, they wouldn't type anything down. They wouldn't put anything in there.
They just think of it and look at the images, and it's there. Which would be a pretty thing. It's inspiring, at the very least, the John Random wallet. The fact that he's actually done it is mind blowing, I think over time he'll probably get it smaller as well. You know, the next second version, third versions, it'll become.
Well, one of the add-ons that you can get
something.
for it is you can get an extra wallet. If you look on his website, you can get an extra wallet that's like a credit card wallet, one of those super, really thin, modern style wallets, and it kind of the device sits in your pocket and pushes, and it goes up into this really thin wallet or something. So the negative to that version is it's in your pocket, so you have to take it out before, rather than putting it on the table. But the advantage is it looks like a super thin little wallet that you give to them.
What's the sound like on it? Is it silent?
Yeah.
No, it's not. Hopefully, it's not, is it? No, I think I didn't they say something about it's virtually silent. So I think given any normal performance.
I mean, no one is going to perform it in a hospital room after midnight.
Yeah, true. I mean,
you're performing in a pub, in bars.
I mean, at the end of the day, a raven is one of magic's best things ever. But kink, the noise of the raven is
Kink. Well,
but, I think printing technology and technology in itself has come on so far. And like you say, I think iterations as it goes down the line are going to become. I have no doubt that something like what Craig suggested with a notepad, he'll come to and will develop. And
like an add-on, like an expansion pack.
Yeah. I think it's one of those really, really kind of cool things that you don't need, but is cool to have, definitely. I was like, I just can't.
I can't wait
something like that.
You know what I would seriously, if I was still doing wedding fairs, which I'm not, but if I was still doing wedding fairs like you, Ben, I'd seriously consider getting this. Because I could just say, as a bride and groom came over, and I used to do them for years, I would just say, come on, wallet here. I'm just going to put that down there on that table. Now, you've never met before. You come over to the booth for the first time. Can you do me a favor? Can you take my phone? I want you to put your wedding date in. I want you to put your venue. And I want you to put what color the chair colors are, for example, something like that, whatever. You can come up with something. And you say, now people book me because, you know, I do magic, I do mind reading, I read people's minds. We've never met. You've never come over to the stand before. I put that wallet down on the table before you even came over. And it's got the bride and groom's name on. It's got the wedding location. It's got everything. And you just give it them and it's on the back of your business card. Game over.
You know, one of the things that I do is because they ask for stuff to put in the bags. And I put in the bag, I have my flyer, sell it, like stapled to the back of that is a little, like a little envelope. And inside that is a business card folded up with a paperclip on it. And so I do my anything routine, and then I say, you've actually in your bag, you've got something stapled to the back, like just take that off, and then boom. So again, like I do something very similar, but that would be so clean. But
you know, like I really think that would be the cleanest way of doing it. I think it'd be worth the price of the trick.
Okay, so what do you think about the two perfect theory? Do you not?
I think the two perfect theory is bollocks. Frankly, we're
I
magicians.
agree. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
We're magicians. No layman has ever seen me do ambitious card or something and then gone.
Too perfect.
That was a little bit too close to magic, you know. I just think it's, you know, maybe if you're performing to magicians, probably, but if you're performing to lay people, it's like, I just want to do the best magic I can do, and if that's mind blowing, I'm going to blow your tits off with this most amazing thing ever. You know, I'm not going to second guess myself and go, hang on a minute, that's a really good trick, and I've got a really entertaining script for it, and it's going to blow people away. But it's too good.
Right, honestly, the amount that do you perform with anything like I had the Pro Mystic Mini MD?
Yeah, I do a lot of electronic stuff in my yeah.
And you've never had a spectator even suggest that there's something up with that, or that maybe it's transmitting something to you?
No.
You've never had that? Genuinely,
no.
Well, I've had it a couple of times at least, you know, and I don't even perform it like I'm not even looking at them and then just naming a color or anything. I perform it completely.
I do you know, the dice thing. I actually use the Anverdi dice by Murphy's, not the color dice.
Mm-hmm.
And I use John Archer's presentation. Have you ever seen John Archer's presentation?
No.
It's not a mind-reading presentation. I think the problem is if you're trying to read people's mind and you're doing that, maybe. So this is the best presentation ever for the Anverdi dice, ever. It's a stage routine. But he stands on stage with a clipboard. He's like, I'm going to write some people's names down. We're going to get some people to help. And he says, I've got a dice here and I've got a coffee cup. Can you examine it? Great. Drop the dice in the coffee cup. He says, shake it up and have a peek inside and have a look at the number that's pointing up. Brilliant. So what's your name? Ben. Okay, Ben, you're spectator number 1. And obviously he's writing down the number they thought of. Pass the cup to somebody else in the audience. Very good. Can you do the same thing? He does that about 10 times. So about 10 people in the audience are thinking of a number. He's wrote down their names, but he's obviously got the numbers as well. And then the presentation at this point is brilliant. He goes, right, okay, let's start with you. You right there, you thought of a number from 1 to 6. Now, that is a 1 in 6 chance. That means if I perform every single day for a week and I have 1 day off, statistically, I'm going to get this right once. So I think it'll be a good round of applause if I get your number, which is 2. Is that right? Yes, brilliant. Now let's go to you, Lloyd. Lloyd, you also thought of a number of 1 and 6, but it's not a 1 in 6 chance. It's a 1 in 6 times 6, which is 1 in 36, which means if I perform this trick every single night for 5 weeks, I'm going to get it wrong once, which means it's going to be way more impressive when I tell you your number's 3. Now you over there, Perseus, right, your number, Perseus, your spectator number 3. Yours is 1 in 6 times 6 times 6. And he goes on and it builds and builds and builds, and until the end, he's like, this is 1 in 7,377,000,000, which means that, you know, this is absolutely impossible. It's like more atoms than a known universe. And it just builds the routine with 1 dice and a cup, and it's
wow.
More based on statistics than anything else.
I like that. The way I perform it is I say, here, I want you not like roll it a few times, obviously make sure it's not the loaded dice or anything, but what I want you to do is I want you to choose a number, okay? I say, so put whatever number you choose, put it on the top, cover over with 2 hands, not 1 because you don't want it to stick to your hand and tumble, okay? So if you want 1, put 1 on the top. Okay, if you want 6, put 6 on the top. Yeah, you got that? There's only 2 rules. You must know the number and it must be underneath your hand. Okay, fair. Right. Then I turn around and I look back and I go, right. Okay, so say they picked a 3 and it's a bloke. or say they pick, actually it's better if they pick an even number given the patter because it's more fun. So as a bloke, he's picked a 4. Okay, I go right. So I don't know if you know this, but statistically, most women go for an even number, and most manly, strong men, they go for an odd number. Okay, and they always crack at this point because the man will like go, oh right, and then people will laugh at him, and I'll go, see, I totally made that up, but that gave me a read on you because now I know you've obviously picked an even number, right? Okay, that's quite obvious, yeah. Now I know for a fact it won't be a 6. I know for a fact it won't be a 6 because I use 6 as an example. All right. Now that leaves us in between 2 and 4. Okay, so I'm going to draw a line down here. Anything on this side of the room is a 2. Anything on this side of the room is a 4. You're going to give something away. And I just tip it up. I'm like, no, that's a 4, isn't it? It's a 4. And then they show it. And so I'm reading it like that. And I'm making it very clear that I'm deducing it out of like eliminating what it's not, as opposed to just doing a clean mind read.
Yeah.
And that's how I perform it with the Mini MD as well. But some certain people, you know, some people work with tech and they know this sort of stuff.
And I think it's because you asked them to specifically have it face up.
Sorry?
I think this happens because specifically you asked them to make sure that it's on the with the number face up underneath your hands.
Maybe. That could be
because
true.
all the rest is justified. Why do that?
Also, I always try to think about. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I do say so that you can show other people and they can see. So you know
that makes sense.
I always try to make it not about the prop that's actually doing it. So, for example, if I was going to do a presentation like that, I might do it the first time, like you suggested, and I might have a Blake Voigt 6-way out envelope. And the second time, I might say, right, okay, we're going to do it again. And then they do it again a second time. And I say, well, you know, this envelope's been here the whole time. You know, I have no idea what your number is, but I made a prediction right here from the very beginning. And now the methods cancel each other out because even if I could get a read on that, and even if it was transmitting, that prediction has been on the table from the very beginning. Yeah. So how was I able to predict that? So that method suddenly doesn't work. Do you know? It's a bit like Kaylee with the quantum deck. She was like, well, you know, it's not a stripper deck, and it's kind of the same thing. If you're having a situation where people understand about tech and everything, bring a non-tech method in, combine the two, and it cancels the two methods out.
Yeah, that's definitely.
Or, you know, do it where you have the dice given to 3 people. 3 people roll the dice and they remember their numbers. And then you've got a deck of cards which is shuffled. You cull those 3 cards to the top of the deck. You do a Vernon strip out, substitute, transfer. You do a swindle switch. And now, all 4 people have thought of numbers. They've picked 4 cards out the deck. They've mixed them up themselves. And the 4 cards are now in a row on the table. And now you go, okay, what was your number? 1. Look at the first card, 1. It's an ace, that's 1. What was your number? 3. Look, you picked a 3. What was your number? 7. Yours was a 7. Oh, well, it wouldn't be a 7 because there's only 6. You get the idea. So now, by bringing the deck of cards in, again, it's another example of cancelling the method out. So now if there's, and I always think about that. If I'm doing a trick and I worry about the method to one particular prop, I try and combine methods.
Here's a cool idea. Now,
that's because the purity of just performing it on its own highlights the method, which is exactly what I was saying about the legacy, or like, you know, the 2 perfect theory. It's the fact that, we're supposed to do impossible stuff, but I'm sorry, like, not everyone thinks, like, you know, some people love magic because they love it and they think that it's amazing, and you know, they like to think that magical things exist in the world. Some people love it because they know it's trickery and they just love the fact that it's able to give them that feeling, but they know it's fake.
But do you think sometimes it's whether you've got faith in the prop or not? And what I mean by that is I have spoken to so many magicians that say, I'd never do linking rings. Everyone knows linking rings. There's a gap in the ring. Everyone knows it. Try telling that to people like Shuto Ogawa. Try telling that to people like Michael O'Brien, Matthew Garrett. The list goes on and on. It's kind of like...
but Matthew Garrett's argument is that you have to disprove that theory. Or else that is exactly what they think. And if your routine doesn't disprove it, then it's a weak linking rings routine.
So how do we disprove if you're worried about that theory with the dice? How do we
Really annoyed me, mate. That so annoyed me. That thing is lovely. It's lovely, but I took that, like, I'd have that in my case in gigs, and then I'd open it up and look like it's shine.
How good of a routine would this be, though, right? Because I don't like combining card tricks into everything, but this would be a really cool card trick. So you give someone the deck, they take it under the table, you tell them to cut it and complete it wherever they like. Okay, then they take one card, they sit on it and get rid of the deck. They're the only person in the world that knows the card. They don't even have to look at it. Now you roll the dice and you say, look, if you get an odd number, make it a red card. If you get an even number, make it a black card. Like imagine a card in your head. So maybe you play it with someone else. And one person's got the card unseen. Then spectator number 2 rolls the dice, covers it, and you say, look, if you've got an odd number, think of a red card, you've got an even number black card. Then you just work your way down to eventually getting down to whatever number and card, value and card. And you say, so like all these rolls, you can see the dice is not loaded. You're thinking of a playing card, and they go, yeah, I've come up with the 8 of spades, and then the person reveals their card. That would be impossible because the method of the deck, they'd be like, well, I shuffled the deck and took the top card, so he couldn't know what that is. And then the dice would also cancel it out. It would be a proper brain fuck on that one. That's why I started looking for my dice, so I can try and practice it on the missus. Because I actually haven't shown her the Anverdi dice yet.
I think it's. Do you know what? I think there are certain spectators that it doesn't matter how you frame anything, they're going to think that you're just some trickster. Then they never ever are going to embark on a journey, with you down that kind of down that road. I mean, it's our job to take as many people down there.
Yeah, that's true.
And but there are just some, there are some weddings I go to, and if I tried to do, like I wouldn't even do anything on them because they won't even sit there to listen to the patter, to get through it. They just want to be slapped in the face with something super quick and visual, or like dynamo style magic.
Yeah, but the thing is, what do you do?
What do I do?
Yeah.
What do I adapt.
You, the performer, not you specifically. I mean, what each of us does. I mean, they might want to see that, but you're not there for that. They have to do something else.
I love how Lloyd's just tidying his desk.
No,
I'm looking for my dice stuff.
I believe that if you're not if you aren't in tune with your spectators, then if you just blindly go about doing what you do without adapting it at all to your audience, I think if you're doing a show and people come to see you, then that's one thing. But like going to a wedding and just trying to be the same to everybody because that's what I want to be. That's I don't perform that.
I agree.
I adapt. I'm certainly not to drunk 25-year-olds. I'm not going to perform the same as I would to a 75-year-old granny. I just wouldn't.
Wait. Because
hang on. But
now
before you two get into this, because I can see this is going to be a lengthy discussion, I've just had a text message saying that my food's on the table upstairs and it's about to go into the dog's belly. So I'm going to... I think you all know that I like my fucking food. So I'm going to go. I promise you I'll be in a better mood when I do one of these in the very, very future. Love you all. Sorry to Matty Mediocrity. Fuck you, Luke Dancy. Love you, Perseus. Love you, Ben. Love you, Lloyd.
Love you,
love
dude.
you, everyone that's watching.
Thank you for joining in, man.
Yeah, and again,
back as well.
The two most important things. Sorry, Matty, and fuck you, Luke. I'm going to go and eat. I'll see you later, all right?
Love you, dude. Bye man. Bye. Oh, fucking hell.
Oh dear. Do you know what? I'm gonna get that call as well for dinner very soon because I'm at my parents' house and they're cooking a roast, so I've got no wiggle room on that. But
no wiggle room. No, I think actually that's a good point to leave it at for the next episode.
But yeah, what was Perseus gonna say though? Because
I was gonna disagree and start a huge discussion. But yeah, so let's do that next time. How about this?
Yes.
I think that's a good excuse, Zenny. We've been on for 2 hours. Perseus only for 1 hour because he.
I don't know. What do you mean?
What do you want from me?
Where are they? All right, guys. Well, listen. Let me just read some comments that are going on here, and then we'll jump off. So, where is everyone in the chat? What could you tell them? Okay, people are. A Medusa dice would be good, says Nigel Quinn.
I had some really nice people have given nice ideas. I haven't heard about the Medusa dice. A Medusa Rubik's Cube, someone told me. A Medusa Zippo lighter.
A Medusa foam would be good.
Like
be
if your
super
glass
organic.
on your face turned to stone.
Oh, that would make. It would make so much sense.
Look in the mirror, and then you say, "Here, that's what you got to do." Look in the mirror and go, "Oh shit! I've just looked at Medusa."
Yeah.
That's good. That's really good.
Yeah, I mean, now first of all, I'm thinking about Medusa coins, obviously.
Yeah.
Right.
Actual coins, because it is. 1 second.
And he's gone. Just like that. It's me and you.
It's like we're at the end of the Ruskin again, crossing streams.
Oh, I'm so sad that we can still cross streams, but we will not be. Well, I won't be drunk enough to do it. And he's back.
Ooh,
Whoa,
very nice.
that's a UK coin.
It is.
That's a pound coin.
Oh,
And that's I already made a lot of coins.
Ben just came in his pants.
And that's the thing. That's the brilliance. I mean, I used to do it with coins, and it's funny because you change the coin. It's like deck. When you change the deck, and they're like, what did he put on the deck and makes it look like? Oh shit! It's stone. It's the sound that gives it. With a coin, it's the same thing. That you go like this, you go like what, and you go like this, and you break it, and you go like what?
yeah.
Which is what I'm working on. Because I really would like to make this come out so people can get a bunch of those, so you can actually break them or give them away.
Yeah, I mean, you make all these by hand, right?
Yes, each and every one of them.
Would it be a silly move to provide a mold, and then
It's not that easy to make.
I suppose yeah, and then you're asking.
I also paint.
Hey, you've got to make a really good, decent coin, and you've got to do it. Yeah, I get that.
And then I also hand paint them, so it's like you get that stony.
Right. Yeah.
Thing. It's like you're asking too much from someone who already paid you.
Yeah. Of course.
So, guys, let's drop some likes on the video to say thank you to all the guests today. Ben, Perseus, of course, Craig, the formidable Craig Patty. This was a roller coaster of a show.
It really is, isn't it?
I feel like we've been through...
I was all like gonna go hey, and then suddenly I'm like, wow, I'm in the thicket of it.
Yeah, you were launched straight into the deep end. And come back next week, guys, because it sounds like we're going to be live from Blackpool, which will be crazy.
I'm going to be watching while crying.
I know. You'll be there with us in spirit, though, Perseus. And next year, of course,
Definitely.
you'll be there. And
Sorry I was late today, Lloyd.
Oh, don't worry about it, man. Well, Ben was late, Craig was late, and ironically, I was slightly late. I actually managed to get onto the stream. No one knows, but it looks like I was kind of prepared, but I actually turned my final light on at 0 on the hour. I was like, go live. I was so late.
There's no neon in the background. There's no.
Yeah, exactly. That's how behind I am. But Perseus, tell everyone the name of your website, please.
Yes.
It is Orion, as in the constellation, OrionMagicProductions.com.
OrionMagicProductions.com.
There we are, in the window, in the chat. I'll also put it in the description for you all to see. Go and check it out. Perseus is a true artist, and everything's done by hand. The illustrations, the drawings, everything's done. So support real magic, guys. Go and pick up some stuff from Orion
Appreciate
Magic
it.
Productions, and I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. It's the best material out there. So go Go and enjoy it. Support Perseus, and we'll come back next week live from Blackpool. At which point, me or Craig will have a new tattoo. That's all I'm saying.
That you have to show on stream, though.
Oh, I'll show it.
So careful where you're going to do it.
Thank you, everyone.
Tough having all these comments as well, because you don't want to read them. But thank you for all the comments, everyone, and for tuning in.
Thank you so much.
Good fun to be on here.
This was planned actually to be a sort of talk on impossible location effects, but that went south. So
that's good though, man, because I've got some ideas that I didn't have time to put into fruition for that chat. Perfect. So let's save that one.
Also, Ben, we need to talk.
Yes, we definitely do. I'd love that.
All right, guys. Bye, everyone. Bye.
All right, take care. See you later.